What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Locked In Baseball podcast. I'm William Locke, and joining me as he does for every episode is Luis Barranco on this fine Monday morning, September 8th. 3 weeks left in the regular season. Luis, how goes it?
It's the home stretch, my boys. How we do? How's your Monday? How's the weekend? I mean, what a weekend it was in baseball. Nature is healing. U.S. Open women's final and U.S. Open men's final was this weekend. Along with that, we had some really good ball games. I mean, the Yankees played the Blue Jays. We'll talk about that on today's episode. A lot of good wild card races going on. And, of course, week 1 NFL. You were probably, it was past your bedtime last night, but what a match. Ravens and Bills. Did you watch it at the gym this morning? Because I know you probably.
I was asleep, very much asleep. But I did see that it was a crazy game. Looks like Bills came back last 4 minutes, scored a bunch of points. I totally missed it. Yeah.
It was 40-25. Josh Allen went nuclear, 200 yards in like a quarter. He just went like nuclear. Derrick Henry, King Henry fumbled the ball. Harbaugh screwing the pooch. Jim looks good on Friday. I mean, talk about a week 1. Let's talk about it. How excited were you for this past weekend of NFL? How excited you are for tonight for the beginning of the new Bears season? Looks like the Lions really do miss Ben Johnson. So, I mean.
Well, yeah, I'm not a huge NFL guy, but I do watch the Bears, so excited to watch them tonight on Monday night. I'm still not too optimistic, although I hopefully we have a good head coach. I've been on it. I've been saying that the Lions were going to fall off a cliff this year because we know who was doing the coaching for that team over the last 2 seasons. It was the coordinators, not the actual head coach. The head coach is just a motivator. He's not a good X's and O's guy. And sure enough, they get spanked up in Green Bay, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. So, yeah, it seems like it was a fun weekend. I didn't watch much. I was down in Austin visiting a buddy. So I went to the Texas football game on Saturday, which was a lot of fun, even though they kind of played a nobody in San Jose State. But I don't know if you remember Griffin Allen from CBHS, but old high school teammate that lives down there now. So fun weekend hanging out with him and in Austin, which is a sick city. But yeah, NFL wasn't too tapped in. Was where I could. I was watching baseball, and it was a very exciting Yankee weekend. Started out a little rough, but first week of tough teams for the Yankees in this 12-game stretch, I think it was a success.
So you got to see a Texas game. How about Michigan? We got to talk about Michigan. I mean, Bryce Underwood, I thought he was a superstar, and you're like,
oh, Bryce is still, yeah. Bryce is definitely still going to be good.
But how about the body language? For listeners that don't know, William's a bit body language guy, and he literally was going at like teammates and everything. Like,
see, I actually think that I like that. I like that he's holding those guys accountable.
You see, he likes that, but it's a different narrative if it's a different player.
Yeah, I thought he's a good leader. He came across as a good freshman leader, holding his guys accountable. I don't know what the situation was, but I mean, elite defense for Oklahoma. I think they got a good team. That's a really tough environment for a true freshman to go on the road, and I thought he played fine. The offensive line was terrible, so that's a concern. But week 2, like ultimately in this college football era, like it doesn't really matter what you do in the non-con. You just got to do well in conference play. So Michigan has an easy conference schedule. We'll see what they can do with it this year. Pretty much don't play anybody except Ohio State, and I guess we'll see what happens with USC and Nebraska. But yeah, I mean, tough loss, tough environment, but I wasn't really expecting them to win that game. So we'll see what happens.
It's getting spooky for Florida down here. You saw the Florida game?
Yeah. That's a tough one. I think. What's his face? Napier might be on the hot seat.
Might be. Have you seen their schedule for the next month?
Yeah, it's brutal. They play Miami in there, right?
They play LSU this weekend, Miami next weekend down here at the Rock, and then they got Texas and then Texas A&M. And so USF is on a little Florida tour. We play them this weekend down here at the Rock. So it's on the CW, which is probably the biggest game in CW history. 3:30 kickoff, 5 versus 16 on the CW.
Yeah, big game. Could be fun.
But we'll see about that. I mean, it's good to see I have all that back. Let's talk about the week that was in baseball. I mean, William, how are we feeling about this weekend? I mean, I feel like this is the weekend where we're getting out of the dog days and we're fully entering the playoff push.
Yep. Yeah, we're in the playoff push. The weather has turned at least a little bit here in Chicago. I was like, it's been in the 50s in the morning, so it feels like playoff vibe, you know. Football's on, so you know, obviously when the playoffs are going, football's on. So everything is starting to feel like the playoffs a little bit more. And this weekend, I mean, this whole week, huge series for the Yankees, and it was a lot of fun, stress watching them. But I think, you know, we got 3 weeks left, like I said at the top, and there's only so much teams can do now to make up ground in the standings. Like certain divisions, like Chicago's 7.5 back. I think it's fair to say that one is done. The White Sox, I thought they were going to come back and make the playoffs, make a miraculous run. Unfortunately, they were eliminated this weekend. So that's our second team that was eliminated from postseason contention. But yeah, I mean, 3 weeks left, home stretch. Awards too are coming down to the wire. I think the National League Cy Young is probably wrapped up, but you have the AL MVP, you have Rookie of the Year races that maybe are still a little bit close. AL Cy Young, we talked about that crochet start last week. Feels like that one's maybe over, but either way, it's a fun time to be a baseball fan down the stretch here, with every game just feeling so important.
Well, it's go time, as they would say. So might as well get to it. You know, go ahead. We have it all right in front of us right now. So let's get this pod going. I mean, let's kick it off with, as we always talk about, is we do the Yankee recap, Yankee weekend, week in review with the resident Yankee fan aficionado, William Locke. He has been a Yankee fan since birth. And this weekend, the Yankees. So we're going to finish wrapping up the last series, and I'll start with that one. Yankees won the Astros series as they won Wednesday 8-4. Rodon pitched 6, 1 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. McMahon hit a homer. Grisham hit a 3-run homer in the 8th, making it 8-3. McMahon went 3 for 4, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs. A weird play that happened where he caught the ball, but again, we saw Mr. Brian Walsh, who, you know, I'll just put this out. Whenever, and this is in any sport, and I mean, you can probably clip this up and post this up. Anytime when a umpire is known by name or a referee, or it's constantly referenced, they're not doing something right. If a good umpire never, you don't know their name. You know the bad ones because they're always like constantly referenced and they're constantly put up. And that was Brian Walsh last weekend. Brian Walsh in that Houston series was abysmal. We saw that play with McMahon where he catches it. I understand that he's like, oh, the glove could have been on the ground, but you can clearly see there was a little bit of a gap where he caught the baseball. I'll just say that. William, before we enter into the next series, please tell me what you think about wrapping up with the Houston series.
I mean, yeah, the story from that, because we talked about the Tuesday-Wednesday game on the last episode, but the story of the last game, I feel like, was that crazy Brian Walsh call. He just had a bad weekend, and it's not a good look when an umpire has a terrible week, and then it's very easily discovered that he has photos in Red Sox jerseys, and he has Facebook posts where he says that he is a Dodgers fan. That does not come across well. So naturally he was thrust into the spotlight last week. I think I draw a line at where people are tweeting out his address. Like, come on, guys, like, well, let's, that's a little bit too far. You can rip the guy all you want for his poor performance on the field, but that's taking it too far. Like, it's at the end of the day, for us fans, it's just a game. It's not our livelihoods. Like, that's ridiculous. He had a terrible week. I'm not denying that. And then the Grisham home run. I mean, 3-run home run in the 8th made it 8-3 Yankees, kind of sealed the deal, which was, again, he's been the clutchest Yankee this season. It's what now, 7 center fielders in Yankee history have had 30 home run seasons, and he's one of them. If you told me in March that Trent Grisham was going to hit 30 home runs in this season, I would have no chance I would have believed you. And it makes you wonder, what would have happened if the Yankees gave this dude more playing time last season instead of running out Alex Verdugo every single game in the playoffs. I mean, he was just a corpse essentially in the World Series. Grisham or Verdugo. Excited to see what he makes this offseason. I really want to see, honestly, I want to see the Yankees bring him back at this point, just because left-handed bat, short porch, even though a lot of his home runs are just nukes. But he's had this career year in the Bronx. It seems like he's a great locker room guy. Guys love him around the clubhouse. Like, I don't know, is it going to be 100 million, 5 years, 100 million? We'll see. Which at the end of the day, I don't know if that contract is going to age well. But he's earned himself a lot of money. Would love to see the Yankees bring him back next season. And that was a huge series win to start out the 12-game stretch against good teams. Yankees get it done. They win that series in Houston after the challenging, frustrating Wednesday night loss where Devin Williams came in and kind of blew the game. They bounced back with a nice win on Thursday.
You know what they definitely say, what I definitely think at, and I was just something observation of watching Thursday night's game. I totally believe that Jasson Dominguez will not be a member of the team next year. I think they don't have patience to develop him. And I know I'm beating a dead horse, but it's just that we see that the lineup, he's never in the lineup these days, and he's been relegated to a pinch runner. Along with being relegated as a pinch runner, we also have to keep in mind that, he was this vaulted prospect and this super prospect, but never got playing time. He had that Tommy John injury. He was hurt, and you need to give him reps, but they're not giving him reps. So it's going to be a shame when he gets traded, because I do feel like he's going to be I'm not saying he's going to be great. I think he's going to be a quality MLBer. It's going to be Gleyber Torres 2.0. He's going to go to another like mid-market team, and he's just going to be a good player for him.
Yeah, I can see it. He's got the tools. And, from the left side of the plate, I think he's a strong hitter. He runs the base as well. The defense is definitely a concern. It's been a concern with him all season. I think that's one of the main reasons that he doesn't get a lot of run. And I think he should ditch the switch hitting. Again, it's kind of one of my things, like my pillars of baseball things I believe in baseball. Like, if you're a switch hitter and you just cannot hit from one side of the plate the way Jasson Dominguez can hit from the right side of the plate, just ditch it and learn how to hit lefties from the left-hand side of the plate. I mean, look at what Bellinger does against lefties. He's got crazy numbers against lefties. It's possible to hit lefties as a lefty. And I just think, the amount of effort that it takes to work on two different swings, it takes away from improving your left-handed swing, because you got to work on your right-handed swing all the time. So I do think there are some players that would maybe just benefit from dropping the switch hitting thing. And I think Dominguez is one of them. And you mentioned the playing time. He started 2 games since last Saturday in Chicago. So essentially, he played 1 game last week in the what fans were building up as the biggest week of the season with Houston and Toronto. He played 1 game, and that was on Saturday. So yeah, to your point, like, if he's not playing, he's too good to be a bench player, in my opinion. So, and I still think he has some trade value. If he's not playing, just trade him. Just trade him. Yeah. And I think you can get, I don't know, maybe an arm or something in return. Like, you can get an MLB caliber talent in return. It's not going to be, it's not going to be a crazy haul or anything, but it'll be something in return.
I would package him to get Pablo Lopez.
Package him with, what would you package him with, though?
Some more of the young arms that the Yankees have. Because that right now the Yankees has a lot of arms in the minors, so we'll see. I mean, that's offseason talk. We're still in September. Let's talk about the Toronto series. Yankees won 2 of 3. Blue Jays won on Friday 7-1. Schlittler did not make it out of the second inning. He gave up 4 earned, 2 strikeouts. Vlad Jr. got a homer, going 4 for 5 with 1 RBI. Yarbrough made his first appearance since June, going 5 1/3 in relief. Kevin Gausman, 8 innings pitched, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts. On Saturday, Luis Gil was electric as the Yankees went 3-1. Gil pitched 6 strong, 1 earned, 1 strikeout, and 4 walks. And then you had an RBI single from Dominguez, Austin Wells 2 sac flies, and then Cody Bellinger gunned, I think it was Bo Bichette at home, and David Bednar got the save. Sunday, the Yankees played. Bo Bichette did not play on Sunday. He was sat out with the injury from Saturday's game. Max Fried, 7 innings strong, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts. Ben Rice with the homer. Then Max Scherzer went 4 1/3, 4 earned, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts in 4 1/3. Bellinger RBI double made it 4-3 in the third. Ben Rice had a great at bat in the first, as I said, for the homer. That I don't know if you saw the at bat, but he was like locked in, and so he literally got something to hit, put it out in the seats, and David Bednar got the save. Goldie came in at the end of the game for defensive purposes, but he is dealing with the left knee bone bruise. William, let's talk about it. I watched a lot of the Sunday game. I mean, I've concluded that Devin Williams is
Bless you. Bless you. Whew, big sneeze there from Luis. he can't bring up Devin Williams without something happening.
Devin Williams is a literal. I want to say so many things that I can't say on pod, but literally, he does the same things he loads up the base. He always puts 1 to 2 runners on, and then he's like, "Oh, I should start getting out. I should start striking people out." Yeah. Then he decides, is it time to, strike him out or allow a run in? At this point, if I'm like I keep saying it, if I'm a hitter, I just sit fastball. Like, screw the changeup. Yeah. He never threw the changeup for strikes. I'm just gonna sit fastball.
Devin Williams loves working himself into some type of jam and then trying to get out of it. I feel like he tries to make it harder on himself or something. It's so frustrating. Every single game. It's like clockwork.
And his body language is so bad. I swear, just watching it, I just hear your voice going like, I freaking hate this guy. I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Like, get him off my team. Like, there's like things that like being friends with William, there's things that I just know. We've been friends for such a long time that you just know that just like, excuse my language, it piss you off. And I feel like body language and like attitude is something like at the top. That's like a Locke family staple. Attitude and body language is like at the top. And that really like gets you so mad. And just watching this guy, whenever he allows a runner, I could just see like your rage just come out and just gets you mad. And it gets me mad. It's like, what's up?
I was gonna say, I just feel like all Yankee fans kind of feel the same way about Williams at this point. I mean, there are probably no Yankee fan defenders of Williams anymore. Yeah, I mean, like, it's the one thing you can control is your attitude. Even if you're playing poorly, like, you can still have a positive attitude. So, and a lot of times the pitches and stuff, there's only so much you can control. If a guy's gonna hit it, if you don't have your stuff that day, you don't have your stuff that day. Fair enough. But the way he kind of just mopes around, yeah, it's a little frustrating. And I don't know. He seems like a nice enough dude. He's not built for New York. It's the same story we've had all season long. Maybe getting out of that jam on Sunday will help propel him through the rest of the season. Again, I don't know why he's getting given opportunities to play in high leverage situations, but
he did the same thing in Tampa. He loaded it was worse in Tampa. He loaded it up. And so yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not gonna go on to Devin Williams too much, but I think there's a bigger elephant in the room, and his name is Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe is just putting up some uncompetitive at-bats. Like, Max Scherzer is throwing, Max Scherzer isn't the same pitcher that he once was like 5-6 years ago in Washington and in LA. He is literally throwing 94, 92 mile-an-hour fastballs. And that should be something a major league hitter should be able to hit in the zone. Like, you should be able to put a charge on the ball. I wouldn't care if, Volpe hit it and it got caught, or he flew it out, or he got contact. But this dude is whipping so hard that I feel like a waft of cool air in my sofa, in my living room sofa. That's how I freaking feel. Like he threw a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball, and that bat was just like, it's a typical Anthony Volpe like strikeout. He just swings and he gets down on one knee and he's like looking up. Like
he's had some of the he's had some of the most uncompetitive at bats I've seen from Yankees all season. And all you had to do to get Volpe out is fastball, fastball, fastball. If it's above 94 miles an hour and it's a little bit elevated, he's not hitting. I mean, he's not hitting it. He can't hit those pitches.
Or inside. He loves the little inside little fastball. Like in. I'm just like,
yeah.
Boone, you got to play Caballero. Like it's time, man. This is probably the biggest week of the season. Again, this is like the last week. You know, you could have a chance at the division. Looking at the schedules between Toronto and the Yankees, you got to get the wins this week. And right now, Anthony Volpe is just not that guy. And so it's just so annoying watching him just uncompetitive bats. And look, I don't care if you strike out. At least like foul some pitches or like extend the count, build up the pitch count for the pitcher. He doesn't do anything. Defensively, we go again and again with the errors and the mistakes. And like yesterday, the errors were so present in which, in the inning that the Jays scored, he had a poor throw to Rice at first.
Yeah.
Could have been an out. Nope. Got a guy on base, extends the inning. Yeah. And so it just, please, what do we have to do to stop seeing Anthony Volpe play shortstop for the Yankees for just a couple days?
Yeah, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts yesterday. We talked about the uncompetitive at-bats. He swung at that one, I think it was an off-speed slider or something, in like essentially the other batter's box, just whiffing. And I'm not, I'm not going to act like I know better mechanic swing approach, whatever, than Anthony Volpe and the Yankees, but just seems like his swing mechanics are kind of broken right now. He's got that huge leg kick, and it just feels like that's a lot to get timed up for a guy that's not hitting the ball, a guy that's struggling, and he hasn't really made any swing adjustments since these struggles have, continued on. And you see guys like young players like Matt Shaw go down to the minor leagues and adjust their swing, and look, it's working for him. So I don't know why like the Yankees and Anthony Volpe refuse to make an adjustment to his swing. I know it's midseason, it's a little tough, but it's clearly not working for him. I mean, he's hitting 207 this season with a 665 OPS, and the 665 OPS is actually better than his career OPS of 662. So it's just, we kind of know what kind of player he is at this point. And the Yankees, again, they think there's something there for whatever reason. They think there's something there with Volpe, and they refuse to give up on the kid. But at some point, you're actively hurting the team by running this guy out there every single game. And other players on the team, like Jose Caballero, I think the Yankees are a better team when Caballero's in the lineup than Volpe. He provides a lot of value on the base pass. He's a good enough defender. His bat is very similar to Volpe's. So if he's better in, base running, which is a hugely important aspect of the game, where if Caballero gets on first, he essentially can be on third base with the way he runs and the way he gets jumps on these stolen bases. I just think he's a more valuable player than Anthony Volpe is right now. The Yankees refused to make the switch. I mean, they did on Friday, but then Volpe got the starts on Saturday and Sunday and didn't look good in those starts. I guess he had the double on Saturday, whatever. It's Caballero. Caballero needs to be the guy.
Well, I think the reason they don't play Caballero is like because of the whole Stanton thing. You're keeping Stanton in, is like who's gonna come replace him. Yeah, Austin Slater was hurt and he's coming back from injury, but I mean, I don't think there's enough trust into putting Austin Slater back in the outfield. I think you'd rather have Caballero in there.
Yeah. We didn't see Slater this week. He didn't start and he didn't pinch run or anything, did he?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He definitely not yesterday, but my whole thing is like you have to think about who's coming in for Stanton in the 7th or 6th. So that's food for thought. I mean, look, for all the doom and gloom this Yankee season has been, I think Yankees fans should be slightly optimistic. Again, I'll repeat my sentiments that the AL has been like the teams in the AL have been falling off like crazy. Houston has not been great. Houston's dealing with the issues with their injuries and the whole Framber scandal. You got Seattle, which Seattle can't do much about. They hit and then they can't pitch. Like, I just don't think Seattle is made for World Series contention. Detroit just lost a series with the White Sox. That tells you all you need to know. And who's even left?
Boston.
I mean, yeah, because Cole were in circles, but I mean,
it's open. It's open, and this was a good week. Like we started with the negatives, but because I guess that's just kind of what plays. I don't know. They won the series against Houston. They won the series against Toronto. They didn't sweep, but they won 2 out of 3 in both. That is a success. 4-2 in this tough stretch. Success. And you win close games on Saturday and Sunday. Those are the games you want to win because those are the games that the Yankees have, it feels like, blown so many of this season. And the bullpen held it down. Bednar with the 2 saves on Saturday and Sunday looked great. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite. Rice with the clutch home run on Sunday in the first inning, making it 3-0, and then Belly driving it. Belly, I mean, we could talk for hours about how good Bellinger has been for the Yankees this season. Luis Gil, 4 walks. Again, the command is just something that concerns me. And Schlittler didn't have the good start on Friday. But this is, Yarbrough going 5 1/3 in relief in his first appearance since June. That's a huge positive. Having him as a long reliever, as a lefty in that bullpen, much needed. This was a good week. And you got the series against Detroit this week, which you just mentioned. They lost a series to the White Sox. And you avoid school. That's a series you got to win. You have to take advantage of the Tigers this week. And then you go to Boston for 3, and that's going to be a complete showdown. That's going to be the biggest series of the season. Giolito, Bayo, and Crochet are the probables on Fangraphs right now, the guys that the Yankees are going to face in that series. So you essentially get their 3 best pitchers.
That series is going to define is if the Yankees win the wild card, get the number 1 wild card, or if they win division. Because
Probably
that's how it's going to be. Now, my question is, and as we wrap up this segment, who's Rodon and Fried are locked in 1-2.
Yeah,
you can flip flop who's 1, who's 2, but we've already had that combo that Rodon goes 1, Fried 2, 3.
I think Fried will be 1.
He can't be. He can't.
He will be.
It's just get ready, Luis Severino Part 2.
Okay.
I hope not, but just I've seen him in Braves gear. It's no bueno. Who's who? I'm gonna keep asking this question weekly. Who's the number 3 guy in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think right now they'd probably give it to Heel over Schlittler.
So Warren's out of it in your opinion.
Yeah, I think Warren's out of it. Even though he had a good start this week.
Yeah.
I think Warren's out of it. I do. But a full season body of work. I mean, it's like Schlittler and Heel guys that came in the second half, and Warren's the guy that's pitched the whole season. But Schlittler's start on Friday was concerning. We'll see. His next start is against Detroit on Thursday. So,
I mean, the beautiful thing about the weekend this week is that the bullpen gets to rest today. I mean, they do have an off day today, so which will be nice.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
Everybody resets and gets ready to go for. Like I said, it's all right in front. It's all right ahead of them, man. It's all right in front of them.
Yeah, it's do they have an off day? I don't think they have an off day next week.
No, because they play the White Sox and then they play the Orioles.
Yeah, so it's
Orioles, White Sox.
It's Detroit, Boston, Minnesota, Baltimore. So it's 3, 6, 9, 13 game stretch without an off day. Their next off day is September 22nd. So 13 straight games. Hopefully you're going to need length from the starting pitchers.
Which, I mean, that's a huge ask, but hey, I'm just ready to go. like I said, it's all right ahead of them. It's go time.
Agreed.
Toronto, they're right on Toronto's tail, and Toronto's schedule isn't very good for them. Toronto, the Blue Jays play some good comp. They play some teams over
I have
500.
it. Yeah, it's Houston this week, then Baltimore, at Tampa for 4, at Kansas City, home versus Boston for 3, and then home versus Tampa for 3 to wrap it up.
Yeah, and Tampa, and not Tampa, but Baltimore, not Baltimore, but Houston's just been all over the place. It's the problem. So
Baltimore's been better in the second half, and then Tampa, not a pushover. There's not like a White Sox or a Rockies on that schedule.
yeah, but let's move on. Let's do the weekend review, MLB weekend review. We got something different you have planned today for it?
Yeah, we're doing. What are we doing? Hottest takes for each team.
Hottest takes. Let's do it.
All right, so
I'll let me just wrap up the series before we
yeah, we'll do it like where we talk the series quickly, and then we can give our hottest take for each team.
Let me wrap up some series from Thursday since we weren't on air.
Yeah.
We had Philadelphia, Milwaukee. Phillies won 2-0. Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates went 5-3 against the LA Dodgers. Royals won 4-3 against the Angels, and then the White Sox beat the Twins 11-8. First series I would like to talk about. Let's do the Fish Files. I mean, Friday we had Phillies take 2 out of 3. Very interesting game Friday. Phillies won 9-3. Homers from Brandon Marsh, Harrison Bader, Max Kepler, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner 4 for 5. Christopher Sanchez went 7 strong, 1 earned, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Phillies won 4-2 yesterday. On Saturday, Bryce Harper hit the homer. Real Muto caught his 200th runner stealing. Luzardo went 6. Sandy went 6. Luzardo gave up 2 earned. Sandy gave up 4 earned. And then you had 8 strikeouts from Luzardo and 4 from Sandy. And then yesterday, the Marlins won 5-4 off Otto Lopez, going 3 for 4, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Trey Turner left a hamstring strain yesterday after going 1 for 4 with a home run. But the biggest thing out of this series, William, is Karen Gate. William, did you see what happened on Friday night at Lone Depot at the Fortress?
I did. And I guess for those that haven't seen it, it was Harrison Bader ripped a home run to left field in the left field stands, and the ball bounces, hits in like kind of an empty row. A dad runs over and he picks it up. He goes over, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7 seats, maybe 10 seats, I don't know, in the same section to his son, gives his son the ball. This lady who does have the Karen haircut and kind of does fit that whole stereotype, at least based on purely appearance. And I guess now her actions, she runs over to the guy and starts screaming at him. We don't know what was said, but just berating the guy, getting in his face, saying, "That's my ball. That's my ball." It seems that's what she was saying, according to the fan. I was reading an article. And so the fan, the guy, takes the ball out of his son's glove and gives it to this lady. We don't know why this lady wanted the ball so badly, why she thought it was her ball, but obviously in this world of social media, it went viral. And she's kind of it was the most viral moment of the weekend. She was kind of I would say like a punching bag on social media. They talked to the guy. I was reading an article on NBC Philadelphia, and the man, the guy, his name is Drew Feltwell, Phillies fan. Both of these guys were Phillies fans. It was his son's birthday. He said he felt like a super dad getting that ball and giving his son a hug, putting the ball in his glove. And then this unknown woman just comes up and starts screaming at him. He said the woman said he was 6 inches from his ear, saying, "That's my ball." Obviously, it made him jump. His reaction, he was very scared. He said, still in disbelief that she walked down there like that. He said, just trying to set an example of how to de-escalate a situation in front of my son, I guess. So the Marlins gave him like a goodie bag. He got a signed bat from Harrison Bader after the game. They got to meet Harrison Bader. So it kind of worked out for them. but still, like that, just crazy. I mean, what are we doing here?
Wait, I don't care about what happened. I want to hear your thoughts. I know you definitely and Griffin had this conversation on Saturday, like during the game. Like, yo, did you see that moment?
We didn't. We
Or
didn't. But
or with Kayla. You said definitely spoke about it with Kayla, like a
I
little
don't think
bit.
she's seen it. I got to show her the video. I mean, what are my thoughts? Yeah, I think this is kind of falls into what like just people don't know how to interact with people anymore. I feel like.
Oh God, no! Don't open that can of worms on this
I,
pod.
I mean, I just feel like I just feel like we're on our phones 24/7. We kind of forget how to interact with human beings. And like, come on, why we don't know why it's hard for me to comment because we don't know why she wanted the ball so badly, and I wasn't there. But the way it comes off on the video, she looks terrible. I mean, obviously, it's not a good look for her. I don't feel bad for the dad just because they got to meet Harrison Bader and get a signed bat from Harrison Bader. But in that situation, in that moment, if things ended the way they did, yeah, I would have been like, "What is going on? That is not fair for the guy." But I don't really have like any crazy takes on this one. It was a
Your
crazy
mom did
moment. I don't have any unique takes. I feel like my take is the same as everyone else in the sense that what the hell is this lady doing? Why is she deranged the way she was?
Hey, L person, L situation in general. Let's talk about that. L situation
It,
in general, and
it
of course, it would happen at the fortress that is Lone Depot Park. All right, but no, I mean, good series win for the Phillies. The only negative side is that Trey Turner has that hamstring strain, and right at the end of the season,
yeah.
so hopefully he's okay. But good series win by the Phillies.
What's our
Hot
hardest
takes
take? Yeah.
that the Marlins are going to be in playoff contention next season. That's the take. I mean, with all the pitching, I mean, they'll be in it next year. They'll be competitive.
I feel the opposite way. I feel like my hottest take for the Marlins is more negative in the sense that they actually regress a little bit, maybe similar to what we were expecting for the A's this year. Falls a little bit short. Guys in their second year, Jacob Marcy, who's been incredible this year, though struggling a little bit of late. Xavier Edwards, a lot of those guys struggle. I think they trade Sandy this winter. That's a hot take I have for them because they have so much young talent in that rotation. But I actually don't think they're going to be that good next year either. And then for the Phillies, I think I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think my Phillies take is this core Turner, Harper, Schwarber. I know it ends after this season, so we'll see if they bring Schwarber back. Real Muto.
Wait, time out. Did you see the report?
What's the report? I did not.
Nightingale that he said that Schwarber's like pretty much not going anywhere, essentially.
Good. Good. He should stay in Philly. My
Yeah.
take still stays the same. I don't think the Phillies are going to win a World Series with this core.
So yeah.
And that maybe that's an easy thing to say because it's so hard to win the World Series, but I think they're just missing something. And I don't know what it is, but maybe middle relief. I don't know. I just feel like they're missing something. And they're not going to get over the hump.
Let's keep it moving. Nationals, Cubs. Nationals take 2 out of 3, winning Saturday 2-1, and then 6-3 yesterday after they scored 5 in the ninth to win. Danny Palencia gave up a pinch hit 3-run bomb and a game-tying home run to Robert Hassel. Carson Kelly hit 2 homers yesterday. Friday, the Cubs won 11-5. Ian Happ hit a homer, and Nico Horner went 2 for 4 with a home run. Dansby also hit a homer. So yeah, Nationals. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Danny Palencia got hurt yesterday, shoulder injury.
Shoulder. Yep.
Yep. Interesting stat from the Wrigley Wire on Twitter. Hitters against Danny Palencia's fastball during March and July: 161 average, 258 slug, 50% hard hit rate. Since August 1st, 314, 457 slug, and 66.7 hard hit. William, thoughts on this one?
I mean, I was watching the Cubs game as we were taxiing in O'Hare for about 45 minutes. The most frustrating airport is O'Hare because you land and then you got a taxi for the next hour, it feels like. So we were watching the end of this Cubs game. They get the home run in the bottom of the eighth, make it 3-1, and then the Nationals come back on Palencia. It's just tough loss, brutal loss for the Cubs. Obviously, the Brewers won yesterday too, so they lost a game to the Brewers, and that division is essentially wrapped up at this point. You got to win that series. You can't lose to the Nationals in a 3-game series if you're serious about winning a division. And if they play like this, there's no chance they make it out of the first round. Even out of the wild card series. Tucker's hurt with the calf injury. Palencia goes down, obviously, so they're banged up a little bit right now, and they need their guys healthy. My hot take for the Cubs is they lose in the first round. They lose in the wild card series. This is a team that's just not built for playoff success. I know they have a good record, and they're maybe being a little bit overhated because they're just in the division with the best team in the league right now, at least in terms of regular season success. But I just feel like the Cubs are not built for success in October this season.
What's the difference between the Cubs and those teams, the Cubs pre-World Series Cubs teams?
Well, those guys had like 2015, you mean, or 2014, or like what years are you?
Before those teams, like those teams that they spent a lot of money and they have like the Derek Lees and Carlos Zambrano's, like what's the difference? They're literally like the carbon copy teams. Like literally they have one or two stars in like PCA or Kyle Tucker, Carlos Zambrano, not Carlos Zambrano, but Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez. In this case, it'd be like PCA, Kyle Tucker, and then you got have the Dansby Swanson. Like they have like big names. They have one or two good pitchers, a couple good pitchers. In this sense, it's like Shota Imanaga, and then the bullpen's awful. They have no closer. Pedro Strop, Carlos Marmol, which is Danny Palencia. Like they're the same teams. Like, what's the difference?
To be fair, they've had guys have really good seasons, like Caleb Thielbar. Kittredge has been good since coming over from Baltimore. Brad Keller's been good of late. Like the bullpen's okay, but to your point, they don't have that lockdown closer. And I just think that's so important in the playoffs.
It's the same thing as those teams, like from the Derek Lee days. Like you remember those teams in the late 10s when they had when they spent the money and they had Alfonso Soriano, the same team. Same team.
Yeah, 2000s. Late 2000s.
Late 2000s, since they're the same teams. And like I will not be duped in the Cubs. So
yeah, I don't think I'm falling for the Cubs either. I know they're 19 games over 500, but you lose a series at home to the Nationals. Tough. So that's my hot take with the Cubs.
They started the opposite of the Brewers. They started too hot.
Yeah.
And then they came back to earth.
They plateaued 100%. I just feel like, the Brewers have been playing good baseball for so long. My hot take for the Nationals is that their rebuild is going to fail.
It's awful rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, James Wood, I love James Wood. He's been terrible in the second half. CJ Abrams is one of the worst, if not the worst, defensive shortstops in all of baseball. And then, who else do they have? Like Luis Garcia, Dalen Lyle. He's okay. Dylan Cruz. I'm not done on Dylan Cruz. Mackenzie Gore, had a great first half, was an all-star, but he's fallen off a cliff.
Keeper
Ruiz hasn't worked out. Obviously, he's had the concussion all season, or since like June, so he's been on the shelf. Robert Hassel, not that good. I just don't see it with Washington at all. I don't think they're going to be good anytime soon.
Yeah. White Sox took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers, winning Friday 7-5. Colson Montgomery 2 for 4 with a homer and 4 RBIs. And then yesterday, Luis Sosa hit 3 RBIs, 1 homer. Andrew Benintendi 2 RBIs, 2 for 3 day, 2 walks. Charlie Morton can only go through 3 on Sunday, giving up 3 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Saturday, Skubal came and shut the door. 7 innings strong, 2 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Kleiber went 2 for 3 with a homer and 3 RBIs and a walk. William, hot takes are for the Tigers is that the Tigers need a bat and an arm, and that the White Sox quietly have had a good year.
They're 50, 55, and 89. I don't know if I would say a good year, but given expectation.
Given how bad that roster is, think about it.
Yeah, the roster is terrible. I think they have something in Colson Montgomery. I really do. He hits bombs. So I think my hot take with the White Sox is they'll be in the playoffs a lot sooner than people think, whether that's within 3 years, 4 years. I can kind of see it with this rebuild. Colson Montgomery, Chase Meidroth. They have good pitching with Shane Smith, Dean Martin. They don't really have anything in the bullpen right now, but that's fine. It's going to take time to develop that bullpen. That's kind of the last thing you want to build out. And Braden Montgomery in the minor leagues, I'm a believer in him. Kyle Teal, I'm a believer in. So we could look in a world where 5 years from now that crochet trade was actually kind of fair for both sides, because I do think there was a pretty good return there for Chicago. And my hot take for Detroit, I mean, Detroit's the same story. Like, it's literally this series against the White Sox this weekend for Detroit was carbon copy what we think of this Tigers team this year. You win the Scooble start, guaranteed. You know, they're always going to win the Scooble start. The other 2 games in that series, 3 games, whatever, if it's a 3-game set, 4-game set, totally up in the air. You don't know what you're going to get. And they lose the series to the White Sox. So my hot take for the Tigers is they are a first-round exit DS team. They'll win the Scooble start. If Scooble gets 2 starts in game 1 and game 5, they'll win both of those. Well, they wouldn't win a game 5. But if they were to win the series, they'll win the Scooble start game 1, and then very good chance they can lose the next 3 in the DS. You know, I think pretty much every American League team that's shaping up to be in the playoffs right now is better than the Tigers. Feel better about every lineup, feel better about every starting rotation in terms of depth, bullpen. You know, they've just lost Kyle Finnegan to the injured list. So I think Detroit's a first-round exit waiting to happen.
Interesting take.
Do you agree, or do you think they can win a playoff series?
I just think it's matchup dependent, because I just feel like Houston is just on such a free fall right now with injuries and everything. I don't know. Houston and Detroit are kind of on the same boat, and it depends who. If Detroit keeps falling, it depends who gets home field and everything. I feel like Houston and King Park is a fortress. I think you know that it's a fortress, and they get crazy down there. Brewers played the Pirates, and the Brewers swept 5-2 Friday, 4-1 on Saturday, and 10-2 on Sunday. I mean, Jake Bauers had himself a series, going 2 for 5 and 2 RBIs on Friday, 2 for 3 and a homer and 2 RBIs on Saturday, and 2 for 4 on Sunday. 1 walk, 2 RBIs. Great starting pitching from the Brewers. Went Priester on Friday, went 7 strong, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts. Brandon Woodruff went 6 strong, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts on Saturday. And then Jacob Mizorowski, 7 strong, 3 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts on Sunday. William, Pirates, again, struggling, but I feel like we said that rebuild isn't too far off. Could be a team that could be spending a little bit into some bats, maybe. Who knows?
They have to.
They have to, but, you know, we'll see. And the Brewers, man, Brewers might be the best team in the NL. I could totally see a world with the Brewers with the right matchups, make it out, and they're in the World Series. I mean, that would be MLB's biggest nightmare, Bud Sealing's wet dream. But
yeah,
I don't know that Manfred would love a Brewers versus Mariners World Series. That would be as what we would call the to-be World Series.
Coming off the high last year of Yankees-Dodgers, which was the World Series matchup they were praying for, and probably still are this season, a rematch would probably do numbers. But yeah, I mean, the Brewers continue to they take care of business, man. They beat the teams they're supposed to. You know, I do see a world in which, and I know it sounds crazy that I think it's crazy that the top team in the National League, in the league, gets through to the World Series, but there is a very good chance that the Brewers finally break through this season. You know, 2018 was the last time they were close, lost in Game 7 in the NLCS to the Dodgers. I do see a world in which they make the World Series this year. And I think they have, again, the organizational structure to just be there every single season. I think they're the class of the National League Central. I think they do things better than Chicago does, and Chicago has a much bigger budget. I just think they are, top to bottom, a better run organization than the Cubs are, without spending in free agency to kind of paper over some of the cracks that they maybe have. So I'm not going to commit to them making the World Series. And I guess my hot take for the Brewers is just that I think they're far and away the best run organization in the National League Central. And they, despite being really good this season and they've been in the spotlight, I don't think they get enough credit. The only concern I have with them is they don't slug. They don't hit the ball. They don't hit home runs. They're 19th in home runs this season. You're going to need to hit some clutch home runs in the playoffs to kind of get over the hump and get through the National League. So we'll see With Pittsburgh, I think my hot take is, again, kind of similar to the White Sox. I do think that the Pirates will be in the playoffs sooner than we think. They have a lot of marquee series wins this year. They beat Toronto. They swept the Dodgers this week. They swept the Phillies and the Mets this year. Like, they have played good against good teams. They have the best pitcher in the sport. They have Bubba Chandler, another really good young arm. They just if the Pirates go out and spend this offseason, I can see them in the playoffs by 2027. Is Skeens going to be around then? Obviously he's under contract and everything, but does he try to force his way out? I don't know. But I do think the Pirates are maybe a little bit closer than people think.
Royals take 2 out of 3 from Minnesota this weekend. Royals won 2-1 on Friday and 11-2 on Saturday. Maikel Garcia with a homer. Pablo Lopez came back off the IL, giving 6 strong, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, and a walk. On Saturday, you had multi-RBI days from Pasquantino, Lofton, Salvi, and Carter Jensen. Stephen Kolwick went 7 strong, 2 earned, and a walk with 4 strikeouts. And then Sunday, Twins won 5-1 off homers from Cody Clemens and Byron Buxton. My deal with the Royals is that the Royals are there for next year. I could see them in a world where they run away with the Central next season, and that the Twins rebuild won't be too long. I like what the Twins have down in the minor league system.
Yeah, the Twins do have a strong minor league system that I think could help them in the future for sure. And I actually do think getting out of the Correa money was a very, very good idea at the trade deadline for them. So, people were knocking them for the trade deadline. I think there's a world in which we look back on the 2025 trade deadline as kind of the deadline that spurned a new era of Twins baseball and actually was a net positive for them. I do think there is a chance that happens. Again, you got to spend money. Like that ownership situation is not where you want to be as a fan and as an organization. So I do think a lot of their future success, I know they have a good farm system, just depends on what that ownership situation is going to look like. Now with KC, my hot take is I think Bobby Witt finishes his career with multiple MVP awards, because I think once Aaron Judge retires, Bobby Witt's only 25, Aaron Judge is in his mid-30s. Aaron Judge will fall off eventually within the next 2-3 seasons. Like, he's not going to be putting up these crazy numbers that he is right now for the rest of his career. And that's when I think Bobby Witt takes over and he starts just cranking out MVPs. Because last year he had, finished second in MVP voting in his age 24 season. I think there's a world in which he can, his numbers are down from last year. That's for sure. He still has really good numbers this year. I think he's going to get MVP votes. I think there's a world where he can get to that 2024 form again and maybe even a little bit better. And he's just going to start winning MVPs. I'm telling you, he's one of the most talented players, if not, I'd say top in terms of tools, 5-tool player, top 2-3 player in the league. I mean, he's one of the best defenders and arguably the best defensive shortstop in the league. Maybe Mason Wynn is in that conversation too. Hits for average, can hit for power, steals bases. He's everything you want in a player. He's a true superstar. And I do think, he's going to win 2-3, maybe even more MVPs, especially once Aaron Judge starts to be on the other side of the hill. That's when Witt's going to take over and just start winning them.
Yeah.
I like what Kansas City's doing. I like what Kansas City's doing.
That's why I have him there. Let's do some Western Series this weekend. Padres 2 out of 3 played the Rockies. Rockies won on Friday 3-0. Kyle Freeland had 8 strong, 10 strikeouts, 2 hits. Hunter Goodman went 3 for 3. Saturday, Padres won 10-8. Home runs from Mickey Moniak, Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck, but you had RBIs from Arrays, Cronenworth, Fermin, McCoy. Tatis hit a 3 RBI and a homer, and then the Padres won yesterday 8-1 with Manny Machado getting a homer and 3 RBIs, with other homers from Laureano, Sheets, and Jackson Merrill. And this was from the 6th, so this is a Friday night. The Rockies were on the verge of and this is from Christopher Saez from Denver. The Rockies were on the verge of their 102nd loss of the season, and they drew 43,461 fans on Friday night.
They got a damn good fan base. I'm very surprised they keep just turning up to support that team.
My hot takes: as long as the Padres continuously stay inconsistent, they will not be winning a World Series. You can't be taking 2 out of 3 from the Rockies. And the past 2 weeks, they play the Padres, and it's up and down with good and bad teams. They can't beat the bad teams. It's kind of like they play down to their competition.
Yep.
And the Rockies, I mean, there's not really a hot take with this team.
No, I think they're the worst run organization in American professional sports, or in that conversation.
I mean, yeah,
they're never good. And then with San Diego, yeah, it's hard. I mean,
it's the inconsistencies, man. You can't. If you look at San Diego the past 2 weeks, like they've had some layup series, and they're in a division hunt, and they can't close the door. You get swept by the Orioles to open up the month. You play the Mariners and lose 2 out of 3, and then you lose 2 out of 3 to Minnesota. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I know it's not good enough, and that's coming off winning that series 2 of 3 against the Dodgers.
Exactly, inconsistencies, my guy. I don't know. Their model of success is not sustainable. Let's put it that way. The whole process, their prospecting, like, yeah, it's great for the fans and it's great for for teams for us to look at, but like it's just not going to be sustainable. Like it's kind of like and my analogy to this would be like when the Saints, when we had Drew Brees kicking the salary cap down the road, like you're going to pay for it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to come to bite you.
Agreed. I don't think it's a way to build long-term success as an organization, and they're kind of just going all in to win a World Series, and I don't think it's going to happen this year. It could, but I don't think they have the starting pitching to do so. So I don't necessarily have a super hot take for the Padres other than they're not going to win this year. They got Cincinnati this week for 3 and Colorado for 4. They are a game back right now of the Dodgers. Again, they should be in the lead of that division with the games they've left on the table of late. The Dodgers just got swept by Pittsburgh and lost 2 of 3 against Baltimore. The Dodgers have Colorado for 3 and San Francisco for 3 this weekend or this week.
Are the Padres a top 5 team in the NL?
Dodgers, Brewers, Phillies. Yeah, they're top 5 because I think they're better than the Cubs. Close though. I think they're top 5. Mets. I probably picked the Mets, even though the Mets have just been terrible of late. I'd probably say the Mets are better than the Padres.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Mets or Padres.
I think the Mets have a better lineup. Pitching, I mean, bullpen goes to San Diego, but losing Jason Adam is huge. He was such a good kind of middle set. He was the setup guy for most of the season until Miller got there, but that's a tough loss. I think they're better than Chicago. They're better than Chicago, but they're definitely not better than. I mean, Philly just lost Trey Turner.
We'll see what happens.
And again, NL crapshoot. That playoffs are setting up for the Dodgers to roll through, though, I think.
Giants and Cardinals. Cardinals take 2 out of 3. Giants won Friday 8-2. Rafi Devers has been on a tear, 2 for 4 and a homer and 2 RBIs. Saturday, Cardinals win 3-2. Verlander went 6 strong, 6 strikeouts, but Ryan Walker blew it, giving up 3 earned. Jordan Walker with a walk-off 2 RBI single. And then Sunday, Cardinals win 4-3. Sonny Gray, 5 1/3, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. Cardinals need a rebuild. That's kind of my opinion. Cardinals need a rebuild. Need to start moving away, and I think they need a front office shuffle again. I mean, it seems like they're one of those teams living in the past a little bit from their success from the golden ages in the 2000s. And the Giants, I mean, I don't know with the Giants. I mean, I don't think their model of success of chasing these high-ticket players is really going to translate.
Yeah.
When was the last time the Giants developed somebody recently?
Well, Logan Webb, right? It's not Logan Webb's home run.
Yeah, but like they haven't developed somebody recently.
I mean, Logan Webb's 28.
2019, but my whole point is, when was the last time the Giants had a homegrown guy to build around? Look at their roster: Robbie Ray, Justin Verlander, Willie Adames, Matt Chapman, Wilmer Flores, Dom Smith, Jung Hooley. Only real guys that came up was Heliot Ramos, Luis Matos. That's pretty much it.
Patrick Bailey, best defensive catcher in the league, but can't hit at all.
Yeah, Marcelo Luciano can't play. So that's my whole argument. So,
We'll see what happens with Bryce Eldridge. Maybe he's the guy.
What's your hot takes for these two?
I think I think Buster Posey will lead them to a World Series again from the GM perspective. I do. And the Cardinals, yeah, I don't see it with them. I really don't. I think they're going to be a 500 club for a long time. They don't have like a superstar, and I know that's easy to say, and it's not easy to acquire a superstar. It takes a lot and a lot of luck, but there's so many teams in the National League that are ahead of where the Cardinals are, and they were the class of that league for a long time. They don't have the Pujols anymore. They don't have that kind of caliber player, generational talent like Pujols, which again comes around once in a generation, so it's not very common. They don't have that right now, so I just think they're going to kind of be around 500, continue to be moving forward. Now, Chaim Bloom's in there. He's a good GM. He's taking over next year. Let's see what he does. Big offseason, I think, for them.
Yeah. Houston, Texas. Texas takes 2 out of 3 rooting on Friday, 4-3. Merrill Kelly went 7 strong, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned, 1 walk. Correa went 3 for 5 and a homer. Jake Berger 1 for 5 and a homer, 2 RBIs. Saturday, Astros won 11-0. Hunter Brown, Diesel, 6 innings pitched, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Jordan Alvarez with a homer and Christian Walker with a homer. And then the Rangers won on Sunday. Framber went 7. Gave up 3, 5 strikeouts, but Jake Berger hit a homer, 2 RBIs. Patrick Corbin went 5 2/3, giving up 1 earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. I think the window might be closed for the Rangers, and I think Houston will be an early exit from the playoffs. I just feel like the injuries and just everything going around there, I think they're going to be a surprise early exit in the playoffs. They're not playing their best baseball as of late.
I think getting Correa back was a bad move for Houston. It was a reactionary move because of the injury to Paredes, but he's not the same player. 31. I know he's got a lot of vesting options. He's got to hit certain performance milestones to get a lot of these extra years in his deal. So the deal maybe isn't as bad as it seems at first, but I think that's going to end up being a bad trade for them. And other than that, with Houston, I do think they are, they don't have the same juice that they had before. No Kyle Tucker in that lineup. Jordan is back. That's a terrifying factor to have in your lineup. So that could help. But Pena, Alvarez, Altuve, Correa is a tough 4 to get through. But I don't think they have the juice this year. The whole Framber thing is weird. Yeah. It really throws a wrench in their postseason hopes. Texas, I think they're so injured, though. That's the thing.
And they're older. That's my thing. They're very old. The ground's old.
Yeah.
Seager's older. Marcus Semien is old.
Evoldi's 35, out for the season. Another injury for him. He's really struggled with injury in his whole career. Adolis is 32. Carl Edwards Jr. is in that bullpen right now.
He got selected the other day.
Yeah. That's our fan favorite right there, podcast favorite. Cubs 2016 legend. Never forget. Yeah, I don't really have a hot take with they got Wyatt Langford. Again, he hasn't lived up to the expectations that were set on him. Top prospect.
Yeah.
Not really a hot take for Texas. I just think they're a good team. I don't think they're a great team. They could sneak in though. They're right there.
Seattle, Atlanta. Seattle takes 2 out of 3, winning Saturday 10-2. Julio took 2 bombs, and then you had Suarez and Raleigh and Naylor hit bombs. Sunday they won 18-2. Everybody hit a homer. Raleigh hit 1, Suarez hit 2, Polanco hit 1, Naylor hit 1. Rodriguez had a multi-RBI day with it, Randy. And then Friday, the Braves won 4-1. My really take with the Braves, and it's kind of like, again, is that they'll be back next year, but I don't know. And the Mariners are better off as a third wild card team on the road, as a road wild card team. I think the pitching will travel, and I think their bats will be better suited in other ballparks that are not T-Mobile.
I think Seattle can make the World Series.
They could.
I think they have a roster that is built for playoff success in October. the rotation. They got the lineup this year. So that's a team I do not want to play in the postseason if I'm the Yankees. And my hot take for Atlanta, I think Atlanta is winning the division next year.
Interesting.
I think they have the best rotation and this might sound crazy. There's a world in which they have the best rotation in the National League East next year because New York, meh. We'll see what happens with Zach Wheeler and this injury, but he's a year older. Chris Sale continues to be elite. Hurston Waldrop, young stud. They have so many young studs in that rotation and just a ton of injuries this season, like Schwellenbach, fractured elbow, AJ Smith-Shawver, Tommy John surgery. So I don't know. He might not be back next year because he got Tommy John in June. He probably won't be back next year. But Sale, Waldrop, Strider, I think bounces back next season. And full year of Acuna, hopefully. I think House Young Kim's going to be a huge addition for them next season, and he's been good for them so far this season. Ozzy Albies, Matt Olson, Jurickson Profar year 2. I actually think they're going to. Isn't Ozzy Albies a free agent though? Either way, I think next year. Sorry, he's not a free agent yet. I think next year the Braves are making the playoffs and winning that division. They'll be back.
Going up to Cincinnati to talk about the Mets versus the Reds. Reds take 2 out of 3. Mets won 5 of 4 on Friday. Soto 2 for 4 with a walk, 1 RBI. Vientos with the homer. Abbott only went 4 2/3, giving up 5. Saturday, Reds won 6 of 3 with homers from Sal Stewart, Matt McClain, Austin Hayes. Jonah Tong went 6, giving up 4. 6 strikeouts, multi-hit days from Lindor and Soto. Sunday, Reds won 3-2. Juan Soto with the homer, but Hunter Green went 7 strong, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 12 strikeouts. William, what do you think? I really don't have a hot take on these teams. I mean, the Mets are just going to continue to spend, and then the Reds are just the Reds to me. I have nothing to say about these two.
The Reds are just, they're kind of just there. I mean, good series win for them. Only gain a game on the Mets, so they're still out of playoff contention. They're, 4 back in that wild card race? Yeah, 4 right now back of the Mets. So they didn't gain the ground they needed to this weekend, gaining just the 1 game. I don't have a hot take on the Reds. I do think their starting pitching could be something to look at, moving forward. It's like, they could be a wild card team. Woo. The Mets, hot take, I think they lose early in the playoffs because they don't have the starting pitching, and the bullpen, despite Diaz, a little shaky. Lineup is scary, but I think they lose early. I think they get matched up with like the Dodgers or something, and they just lose that series because they're not as good as the Dodgers.
Yeah. Then you have the Dodgers play the Orioles. Orioles won 2-1 on Friday. Freddie Freeman hit a homer. Ohtani went 3 2/3 with 5 strikeouts. Sammy Basallo hit a homer. Jackson Holiday stole third and scored on the wild pitch. Saturday was a wild game. Yoshinobu Yamamoto had a no-hitter till Jackson Holiday hit a homer in the 9th, and then the Orioles scored 4 to win the game off an Emmanuel Rivera 2-run RBI single. And then Mookie Betts went 2 for 5. Ohtani 1 for 5. Caitlin Clark and Lexi Cole were in attendance. Crazy game. Dodgers won 5-2 yesterday. Ohtani took matters into his own hands, hitting 2 homers, 3 walks, and 2 RBIs. My hot take is that the Orioles will be in contention next season, and that Yoshinobu Yamamoto should be considered for Cy Young this season.
That's it. Yeah, I would agree.
So.
More so, he should get votes. I think he will get votes. My hot take for Baltimore is I think Sammy Basallo. I know the numbers aren't there yet, but I see it with him like that. He's going to be a really good hitter in this league. I think he has all-star upside, and I do think they will be better next year. Jeremiah Jackson's been a good rookie for them. Gunnar will be back. So I can see it with them making the playoffs next year for sure.
Okay. Got 3 more series. Boston versus Arizona. Arizona takes 2 out of 3. Arizona won 10-5 on Friday. Our homers from Perdomo, Corbin Carroll, and then Vargas. Erod went 6 strong, 1 earned, 4 strikeouts. Saturday, Brandon Pfaadt went 6, giving up 1 earned, 7 strikeouts as the Diamondbacks won 5-1. Giolito gave up 2 in 5 innings. And then the Red Sox came back yesterday as Nick Sogard broke it with a 2-run double in the 9th to take the lead. Corbin Carroll extended his 24-game on-base streak, which is the longest in his career and active in the majors. I mean, Arizona's under this little soft rebuild, which, I mean, there should be, and not really a hot take, but should be back in the mix for the Western for a wild card. And the Red Sox rebuild, I mean, I think the Roman Anthony injury is not getting enough publicity. I kind of do feel like that injury is going to hurt them a lot more than what people think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was devastating for Red Sox fans because they know there's a direct correlation between him getting called up and them going on a good run. So that's a huge, huge loss for them. My hot take for Arizona is I think Corbin Carroll is the second best player in the National League and behind Ohtani. He's third in F4 right now behind Trey Turner and Corbin Carroll and Shohei Ohtani. 259 batting average, 894 OPS. I mean, the power is not necessarily something we expected from him, but it's been there this season. 30 home runs with 25 stolen bases. He's a 5-tool player, 10 outs above average out there in right field. The arm strength isn't great, -2 arm value, but he's a good, hits for a decent average, 259. He hit 285 his rookie year in 2023. Hits for power, hits, can run the bases, good defense. I just think he's an all-around great player. It's one dude you'd love to have on your roster. And I think, what is he, 25? Arizona's got a MVP caliber player in their lineup for the next. He's under contract forever, however long he signed that extension. So great piece for Arizona to build around. I do think they'll be back next year. Now, losing Corbin Burns to the Tommy John in June that's tough because he probably won't be back for next season.
Yeah. Guardians won 3 out of 4. Rays won on Thursday 4-2. Guardians won 7-1 on Friday. Guardians won Saturday 3-2 on Saturday. Daniel Schneemann 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, 1 walk. Very good series for him on Saturday.
I noticed he was wearing that sliding mitt. Yeah.
For those who don't know, go look at the sliding mitt video. And Guardians won 2-1 on Sunday. J-Ram on Thursday passed Jim Thome for second all-time on the RBI list at 938 for the Guardians after he hit a homer on Thursday. But good series. Daniel Schneemann's Guardians are playing really well. Like I said, making the hunt. I mean, the Guardians, like I said, should be in the mix again with the Royals for that division next year. I mean, I like what they always come up in the system. They've developed good players like Gavin Williams, Tanner Bybee. Who else have they got? They also got my guy Kyle Manzardo. And then Daniel Schneemann's come up through the system as well. I mean, good players. So
Bazana coming up soon. Yeah, they I don't really have opinions on the Guardians. I know they were in the ALCS last year, but I just are they ever going to get over the hump in the World Series? Probably not. And then for Tampa, I don't know. They're another well-run organization that doesn't spend money, but I don't see it with them. I mean, Cameronero, great season. That one I'm hard to come up with a hot take, to be honest.
I know the Guardians are pro sliding mitt, is what I do know.
Yes,
we do. Very, 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 very much. So, A's and Angels. A's won 2 of 3. They won Friday 10-4. Lawrence Butler hit a homer. Saturday 17-4. They won. All A's reached base on Saturday, except for Lawrence Butler, who did not record a hit but got on via walk. Nick Kurtz had a funny strikeout, and then Sunday 4-3. Angels won 4-3.
What was the funny strikeout? I didn't see.
It was a position player, and he completely whiffed.
Oh God!
Kurtz, one of those poor moments. But I mean, I think the A's are going to be in contention much sooner than we expect. I think they'll be in the playoffs before they get to Vegas. And with the Angels, I do like what they have in Joe Adell. I mean, he could be a player, I think. I don't know. I don't want to go and say that he's a future player, but I think he could be a guy.
30 home runs. My hot take for the A's, actually, this is a good one. I think the A's win a World Series before any other American League West team. And I know I said I think the Mariners can make the World Series this year. I don't think they'll win. I see it with the A's. The lineup is there. I think, Nick Kurtz, young talent, could be one of the best hitters in the league. Butler, Rooker, Soderstrom. They just got to get the pitching. Once they get the pitching, I think it's go time. I think by the time they're in Vegas, I do think they're in contention for a World Series because they're 4th in average, 6th in OPS, 4th in home runs this season, and they're 12 games under 500. The hitting stats are there for them, just they can't pitch.
They got to get the pitching. So that's the last thing they need. That's the first thing, and that's the last thing to finish out. So, yeah.
Angels, nothing. They're going to be the same old Angels for the rest of eternity.
I said the Joe Adele thing because the Angels are the Angels.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
That's all we got. When are we coming back this week? We coming back on Friday?
Friday, yeah, back on Friday. Regular schedule this week.
Right. I mean, after the Tiger series, I mean, we're at the stretch run. I mean, it's all in our hands. It's all ahead of us. It's go time.
It's go time. Thank you all for listening. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't already. Trying to get to 150 subscribers before the end of the season. We're at 142 right now. Let's help us get to that goal. We appreciate you guys listening as always. Follow on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Locked In Sports Pod. Baseball. You got anything else?
I mean, enjoy the week of baseball. We only got 3 more weeks of regular season. If you're a fan of your team, this is a good time to get some cheap tickets.
Yeah, that's true.
Ain't nobody going, so let's go.
Yep. All right. That's it. That's all we got. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you on Friday. Peace out.